live from in the heart of the hurricane.
Yeah.
It is the Mike and Molson Too Good for Radio podcast. I am Mike Hurricane Cantori, and boy, Johnny, let me tell you, here in my living room, it is really coming down. To be honest, though, Milton, out of all the ones, I wish we could go back to the tape and what we thought about.
Oh, I forgot to look that up. Yeah, I don't think
I can't. That's the thing. Like, I know I'm a new resident here. There's a live look at Tampa Bay where the eye of the hurricane will be farther. I've nerded out. I've become such a nerd watching it because there's nothing else on TV.
Yeah.
Like, I know way more stuff about atmospheric pressure and shear winds and everything else than any normal human would need to. But I can't take it seriously because it's Milton. I just think of Office Space.
And knowing us when Milton came up when we were doing the predictions, there's no way we said that was going to be a dangerous hurricane.
No, I'm sure we made something about I need my stapler back, or don't take it stapler, it'll get mad at you or whatever. And so nonetheless, here we are in the heart of Milton. And I will be with you and the listeners and the viewer. I say listeners, but we have viewers. Yeah,
that's right.
We're doing this live thing. Yeah. So this is kind of the maiden voyage. We got a phone number and everything that people can call in if they want. Look at that. 707-4-MONKEY.
707-4-MONKEY is the new listener call-in line. And we'll do this live at 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central on Wednesdays. And we don't know if we'll have you next Wednesday because you may not have power. So they're predicting that you won't have power. Is that right?
Yeah, that's basically what they're saying, is that it's not if, it's when the power will go out. So where I live, interesting fact, that's a live looking at me earlier today. So where we live here this is a dumb fact, but amaze your friends with this one. Where we live in Claremont, we're the highest elevation in the state of Florida.
Oh, no kidding. So you can look down on all the other Floridians.
Yes, exactly. I feel like that's apropos, that I would look down on the rest of them. It's kind of what I've done with my career. That's what we made our living with. That's how we were able to get this podcast, everything. We're too good for radio now. So
is it still called Too Good for Radio when we're on YouTube? Or is there, I don't know if maybe that's...
I don't know. Mangle the news? I don't know.
Call in, 707-4-MONKEY. What should we call this now?
What should be the name of the new show? So we're far enough inland where we don't have to worry about storm surge, and we're elevated enough. Hopefully don't have to worry about flooding, but they're saying at 11 o'clock tonight is when the worst is gonna transpire. So we batten down the hat. It was interesting, being new. Wow, it's starting to get bad there in Tampa Bay. And it's starting to come down out here too. I wish I could turn the camera around. You can see all the plastic we have on the windows and everything. But
that's okay. You're doing exactly what any anchor should do in your situation. You're inside. I don't know why they have to send people out into the rain.
Poor bastard.
We know it's raining. We know.
They went to somebody out there, and I love this. And maybe we have the Roker footage from when he shouldn't have been outside. But they went to somebody who was in an evacuation area, and they're like, "There's nobody left around here. Then you shouldn't be there either. Why are you reporting?" It's like, good Lord.
Yeah, here's brother Al Roker years ago doing exactly what you shouldn't be doing.
Matt, our truck operator, Tom Bear, said, "Don't you wish you had your weight back?" Right about now, I do.
Oh, no.
Okay?
Oh, no.
We're okay.
Okay, let me ask you this, Johnny.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You go into work. I'm going to take this off because I think the worst of it's still to come, but I'm just going to keep it handy just in case we get a wind shear through here at some point. Yeah. But can you imagine going into work and the thing you have to do for your job is to hold Al Roker's leg so he doesn't fly away with the hurricane?
That's literally what's happening down here at the bottom. I don't know if you can see my arrow or not.
Yes, I can. Yeah,
that's a highly paid NBC staffer who is trying to hold down Al Roker.
Matt, our truck operator, Tom Bear, said, "Don't you wish you had your weight back?" Right about now, I do.
Oh, no.
Oh, here comes another guy. You should have been using both dies.
That's right. You can't just hold down one leg. Al's big enough, even with losing the weight. Al's big enough. He needs both legs held down.
Yeah. Why aren't you using both guys?
I will say, as far as like hurricane prep goes, since I'm a novice to all this, I didn't really know, and it came up so fast. So I'm out and about, and it was kind of like when back in Illinois, when you would have a winter storm warning, and everyone's just like flocks and has to hoard things.
Right.
And that's the one thing I didn't want to do. Like, it's just me and Jen here. And so I only bought one thing of water, like a 24 pack of water. We already had stuff from Helene that thankfully didn't really cause any impact to us. So I'm like, I don't really need like 4 things of water. Like, I don't want to be that person. But then it got to going down like the soup and the canned meat aisles. And there was an old lady, and I felt so bad. She's like, I'm sorry if I'm in your way. I'm like, no, I'm just trying to survey what's available. She's like, me too. I don't know what to get. And I was like, I'm grabbing canned chicken just in case. Like,
well, we can see over your left shoulder there. It looks like did you have to board up or at least cardboard up your windows? Is that what you've done?
Yeah. So we got drop cloth, and we got the cardboard there, and because I'm a nerd, and there you can see the live footage from WESH 2 News. That's been on my TV quite a bit. They've done a great job. But yeah, so I'm a nerd as well. So we have it boarded to a point, but there's a little sliver on the top there that I can get. That's why if you pan back over there, you can see. I'll give you the hurricane setup. If you pan back over my shoulder there, Johnny, you can see there the step ladder. That is so I can stand out and look outside, because I'm a man and I always have to see what's going on weather-wise. So I can't actually go outside.
Yeah.
So there it is right there.
Little peek.
Right there.
Take a little peek.
Exactly. It's almost like I'm the worst peeping Tom ever. I'm not looking at anyone's window. I'm just looking outside to see how terrible it is out there.
Yeah.
So that's the hurricane setup. We got, and like I said, we got shelf sustainable foods, a lot of peanut butter, bagels, that kind of stuff. I don't have a generator. It was interesting. I was looking for propane because I had not filled my propane tank yet for my grill. And so I was looking for propane tank, and I went to a gas station, and inside the rapid exchange propane, there was a bunch of tanks. And so I'm like, do you have any propane? No, we don't. And that dawned on me, those are all the empties. And the lady behind the counter was telling me how a lot of people were coming in and complaining, saying, but you have tanks. So just sell me the empty tank. And they're
you
like,
got tanks, you got to have propane.
That's not how it works. And then I felt bad. The Ace Hardware next door kept telling me that they were going to have shipment coming in. So I went back there a couple times, never got the shipment, but they weren't filling your propane tank if it hadn't passed inspection. So can you imagine going there with your empty propane tank? You're like, yeah, I'm going to ride this storm out. Take that, Milton. I'm going to be able to cook on my grill. And Ace Hardware goes, sorry, sir. You did not pass inspection. It's too old, so we can't fill it.
Florida has some sort of propane tank inspector?
Yes. Well, yeah. Illinois has it too. Oh. So I had a propane tank one time that I've took to U-Haul. I took it to U-Haul, and they're like, well, we're going to fill it one last time, but looking at the data on this thing, it's going to have to you have to go get it re-inspected, or if it doesn't pass, we can't fill it. And so there was like 15 propane tanks. And the ironic thing was, then people who didn't have propane tanks then were trying to haggle with the Ace Hardware employees, be like, hey, buddy, I know it didn't pass inspection, but how much for the propane tank over there? I know it didn't pass, but trying to grease the palms there. So
there's always somebody.
An experience. Yeah, it's been an experience thus far. I will say that. So if anything breaks, like I said, you can always zoom in to the coverage on the TV there to see what's going on if anything breaks. So,
all right. Well,
welcome. We still don't have a couch yet. Yeah.
Welcome again. You can always call us at 707-4-MONKEY. That's 466-6539. And we're going to go through the regular stuff like we do here on our show.
Yeah. We have a Reddit. Reddit, am I the a-hole that always sparks some conversation? We'll have that coming up later on. But you have excellent visual here. This is the part of the reason why I like the fact that we're doing this live on YouTube and Facebook, because there were so many times when we did stories, and not that we couldn't paint the picture with words, but it's much more fun to see it up close.
Well, and I don't know if you can see very clearly. I'll zoom in on that here in just a second here. What you're looking at is a speed camera, a cop speed camera that caught Cookie Monster tearing down the highway. Yeah.
Was there a cookie emergency?
A police camera captured the bizarre moment a motorist sped through an intersection in Germany while dressed as the blue biscuit-loving children's...
What is going on there? Are you late for work at the theme park? Like, Are you just like, well, didn't have time, got to get going?
The fun of wearing the mask from the Muppet Show can quickly turn serious, said a police spokesman, Peter Banderman, describing the incident. The pic, snapped in the western city of Dortmund, Westfalen, shows the googly-eyed character driving an Audi at 60 miles an hour, which is 10 miles faster than the posted speed limit.
Usually 10 is okay. 10 miles over is okay. Where are they looking out of? Is I want to know. Like, that is a hardcore Cookie Monster costume. Like, normally the ones you get from the store is like, you know, your dopey face is there, and it's like just the eyes, and it's like it doesn't look real great. That's some hardcore Cookie Monster stuff going on there. And where were they coming from? Is I want to know.
Right. The police goes on and says, it won't help the relatives of a person who has been killed if the person who did it tearfully regrets they were wearing a mask just in fun. This isn't the first time Cookie Monster engaged in questionable behavior. In 2023, authorities in Santa Cruz had to avoid interacting with a man guised up as the crumbly character after he was observed yelling obscenities and taunting locals and strolling along the city's coastal boardwalk.
Can you imagine, for a moment, to go back to that officer, what he said? Mm-hmm. If you get a knock on the door and you open it and be like, we have some sad news. What? Your husband has died in a car crash. He was hit by Cookie Monster. How do you not laugh? Even in that moment.
That's great. Like, that's the best way to go.
If you're gonna die in a fiery crash, let it be by somebody from Sesame Street. Like, yes, indeed. Come on now. Seriously, that's absolutely ridiculous.
Let's go to our first caller at 707-4-Monkey. Welcome. You're on with Mike and Molson. It is great to have you joining us.
Hi, Mike. I'm Molson. Can you hear me okay?
Hear you fine. Thank you.
Okay. So thanks for having me on. My name is Charles May, and you will probably know me best as the son of Lokia.
The son of Lokia. And when we were on the radio, Lokia would call in probably every day, every other day or so. One of our favorites, and we sadly lost her a year or two ago, didn't we?
Actually, it was just earlier this year, January 14th of this year, we lost her.
It was just this year. I apologize.
Yeah, it was just this year. So I kind of wanted to call in because I know that you guys were fond of my mother, and my mother was definitely fond of you guys.
She was, yeah.
And kind of do a little tribute to Mom. There she is, and she was an amazing woman, a wicked intellect, as you are well aware. She can match wits with anyone.
Mm-hmm. I don't think. There wasn't anyone who could put us in our place much like Lokia could. Mm-hmm. Like, to your point, she would match wits with anyone with matching wits with us isn't super impressive because we're a couple of dopes. But when she would call in like Jim Leach or even Bishop and stuff in the morning, just the scope and breadth of the things she could speak upon and with such articulation was so impressive. Yeah. So impressive. And it was always a pleasure to talk to her too, because like I said, she gave it as good as she got it, which was awesome. It was great back and forth.
Yeah, she and it is something that she did pass on to her child. I was her only child. So I definitely learned a lot from her. She was a college professor. She taught public speaking and rhetoric and debate. And people ask me oftentimes, what was it like being raised by a college professor, especially someone who taught communications? And I said, well, it was a lot like being raised by anyone, except that in my family, you had to give a 3-minute impromptu persuasive debate as to why she should pass the mashed potatoes. Which invariably led to, because I've got too much crazy, you psycho. And then she would comment that was an ad hominem attack, neurological fallacy, and I had to come up with better arguments.
Son of a gun! Wow.
But that was my mom, and she did not suffer fools at all. If you were throwing BS her way, she would definitely call you on it.
Yeah.
And she didn't also, she also expected her children not to take any BS, even if it was from her. And she could throw it as well as she gave it, as you're aware. But there were a lot of memories of her, and I really miss her a lot. There's probably not a day that goes by that I don't wish that I could call her and talk to her.
Well, one of our favorite moments, and we played it so many times on the radio show, and I think the topic was, is there a song that you get sick of if it gets played too much? What were we talking about?
It was actually, we were talking about loud neighbors. There was a story of some neighbors were getting too loud, and we talked about, have you ever had a situation where you had to confront a neighbor because they were being too loud about one thing or another? And Lokia called in and talked about when she was living in an apartment, and then this radio gem occurred.
See, now I can't get that picture out of my head.
Yeah, well, I can't get more than a half-hour tusk is unnecessary. I think we all can agree on that.
Especially if you're downstairs. Wait a minute. I mean, in the apartment building.
I think we all can agree. Wiser words never spoken.
Absolutely.
You don't want it more than a half-hour tusk in the downstairs.
I'm glad you guys find me so amusing. It is indeed what I live for.
She's great. Thank you for calling in. I really appreciate and sharing stories about your mom, because she was just a blast to have on the show.
Yeah, she was, and if you guys gave her an outlet more often than she needed, and more often than she could account, and I really appreciate all the times that you had her, and you think you even had her in the studio a couple times. So
we did, yeah.
So thank you for all that,
did.
for giving her an outlet.
So nice of you to call, Charles. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you very much. She was amazing. She was an amazing woman, and like I said, I just always love the back and forth. I think no one ever put us in her place better than when she called in that one time and said, I thought I was listening to something, a different station, because something funny happened, and then I thought, oh wait, it is the man. Like, she just put us in her place. Like, she was fantastic, and she is definitely missed, and a wonderful individual, and always fun to talk to Lokia, and appreciate her son calling in here on the inaugural live stream that we are going to start doing every Wednesday at 5 Central, 6 Eastern time. I still haven't gotten used to that part either. Being in the Eastern time zone, my math is always, because I'm not good at math.
Oh, that's right. You've never lived in the Eastern time zone, have you?
I've only lived in the Central time zone. So even now, it's difficult for me sometimes, like on Saturdays for college football, being a sports nut like I am, where I'm just like, oh, the game already started. I'm late to it. So yeah, I've had to get used to that particular situation, being on the East Coast. Oh, this story. Did
you see this?
Man. Yeah. So this story comes to us from Australia, right? It was a flight to Tokyo, and it was on Qantas. And so normally you have your choice of in-flight entertainment, but apparently, I don't know if Qantas is Australian Spirit Airlines or Frontier. I'm not quite sure.
No,
but
Qantas is that's a swanky airline there. That's a nice airline.
So everyone had to watch the same movie, and the movie that they chose was a movie called Daddy-O from Dakota Johnson.
Okay.
And prominently in the film, not only Dakota Johnson, but Johnson Johnson, as there is a shot of a dangus.
Oh, no.
And there's a shot of a according to the news article, and news articles always try to be as scientific as possible. They're like, this particular film showed a shot of a fully erect penis, and it also dropped a bunch of
Really? It wasn't just
F-bombs.
swinging there free?
No.
It was
Lee Green, wouldn't it? It was proud to be an American. It was saluting you, sir.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And the thing was, it wasn't until halfway through the movie until people on the plane actually said something.
Yeah.
Which begs a question. If you could put the phone number up there, Johnny, again, so I can remember it.
Did you forget 4Monkey? 707 4Monkey?
707 4Monkey. 707 4Monkey. Have you ever had a uncomfortable situation on a plane where you looked over and someone was watching a movie that you felt was maybe slightly inappropriate?
Or a train.
Or a train. One of those two. It's 707 4Monkey. Because here's the thing. One person on that plane probably had some X-rated material on a tablet.
Right.
And thought, maybe I can get away with it. And then this movie pops on and they go, well, if that's kind of party, I'm going to go ahead and just watch.
Well, what happened? I mean, that's, even when they provide you a choice of movies to watch, I mean, it's not that hard to find a movie that doesn't have a boob in it. That's pretty common. So did they edit? I don't know how that works. Did they edit them out?
Edit out the boobs?
Yeah.
No, I think the boobs are in there.
Really?
And it's always interesting. Yeah, that's why I was very cognizant when we flew to Tokyo of my choice of movie. I went Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and then the Blues Brothers because I knew for the most part I was going to be okay. But there were some that were thrillers and I knew were R-rated. And you can always tell the people that choose a movie just by seeing who's in it and then get uncomfortable. Like the person who chose Eyes Wide Shut for a long flight and I don't know what I'm watching here.
Why would you do that?
That
was the last flight I was on. There was somebody who was kind of, I don't know, they were watching something and you could tell it was getting into a bedroom scene and, I'm kind of leaning over going, all right, what's going to go on here? What do you, I don't know what you do.
Have you ever ended up watching someone else's movie instead of yours? Like you're looking like, what are they watching?
Yeah,
that's much more interesting. What I've chose to watch. I'm
Even if you
gonna
can't
keep
hear 'em.
watching that. No, exactly. Because sometimes I forget my little earpieces, and then you're kind of stuck and you got nothing else. But yeah, so the Dakota Johnson with the Johnson just there, and why did everyone have to watch the same movie?
Yeah.
Is what I want to know. And some guy was like, I would have rather seen Madam Web. And that's saying a lot because how bad that particular movie was with Dakota Johnson in it. So, that was an interesting situation. I wonder if there'll be any lawsuits from Qantas because of that.
Yeah. There was an article recently that there seems to be. Apparently, we're just getting more comfortable with the ding dong being in movies now.
Really?
That it's a little more prevalent. Not like what you described though.
No, I mean it's there.
Not ready for action.
No.
In its upright and locked position.
It was ready. It was ready to go. It was going to go full Milton on you. I don't know. I haven't really noticed per se. I guess whenever you see it, it's usually has been kind of shocking. You're like, oh my God, what's that? It's like, I don't know if that's going to be
every Harvey Keitel movie ever.
Yes, exactly. I don't know if that's going to be the new Skinamax, though. I don't know if people are going to be sneaking around, but there's no real cable anymore. Anymore, you just go on the internet and you find it.
I know.
Not the intrigue. There's not the intrigue that we grew up with, Johnny, where you would your parents would go to bed, you'd had cable, and you had to make sure, okay, I know what's going to be on Skinamax, but I have to have something I can get back to real quick.
Right.
So it's like, it's
believable.
I need to make sure the previous channel was believable. Yeah. And then you would hear somebody rustle around in the back of the house and you're like, yes, and you're like, damn it, I missed that good scene because I had to flip it back and forth. Kids today don't have to worry about that.
Hotels don't have naughty channels anymore.
Oh, they don't?
No.
It's been a while. Well, it's been a while since here's the thing. It's been a while since I've stayed in a non-Disney hotel, and I'm pretty sure Disney would never have that.
What a weird
If they
flex
did,
that is, Mike. It's been a while since I've not stayed in a non-Disney hotel.
Well, I don't think that's a flex. I think that's more of a speaks to me of like, I may need to vary my vacationing. But so they don't, like, your random Motel 6 doesn't have that anymore?
No, remember there was always like the regular channels, and then there were like 3 for like $25. You could watch Lady Chatterley's Lover or something.
It always was ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
But it also, when you would go to that channel, I also loved how it's like, this charge will appear as, I don't know, room service. Like, it never was going to be like, it was never going to actually say like, you just watched, Backdoor Lover 12. It's like, it was always going to say something else. Like, you rented, iRobot 4 or something instead. So it's
got to be able to turn it in for an expense.
Yes, exactly. Very, very discreet.
Hey, we got another breaking story of somebody in costume being stopped by police.
Oh,
apparently.
no. What's going on here? I guess Halloween's right around the corner.
Yeah. A man who allegedly damaged a police car while wearing a banana costume was brought into custody.
No one can take you seriously, sir.
Yeah. Suspect accused of damaging a Philadelphia cop car while wearing a banana costume during an illegal car meetup. An illegal car meetup is now in custody. I don't know.
Oh, is that like Fast and the Furious?
I think so.
Have they run out of ideas? They're like, Vin, we've been to space. We drove through the planet Hoth, basically. I think the next Fast and Furious, we just need to all dress up like bananas.
The dangerous and violent scene unfolded 2 weeks ago. Hundreds of people and vehicles gathered for approximately a dozen car meetups that ended with thousands of dollars in damage. Videos from social media. Police say there was one person involved that stuck out in particular. A man dressed in a banana costume, remarked Lieutenant Dennis Rosebaum.
What are you doing?
He hurled a string of profanities at reporters who gathered outside his home. Investigators say he faces a list of charges, including damaging at least one vehicle. He's linked to the patrol wagon for sure, but conspiracy charges come in when other vehicles are involved, throwing items, and in one instance, trying to set a police... This guy that we're looking at right here, tried to set a police car on fire. Yeah.
I guess this way. Banana Man. I don't know. Yeah,
which way is it for you?
I'm
working for me.
But I guess I don't know.
You suck.
I do suck. Banana Man, be better. Be better,
Yeah.
Banana Man. That's what you have to do.
Agreed.
Sticking on utterly ridiculous things like Cookie Monster and Banana Man, I think we have them, or they had them in the Springfield Mall, the motorized stuffed animals. Have you ever seen these things where they allow you've never seen these? Oh my God. So it's a motorized stuffed animal. You sit on top of it. It can be a monkey, it can be an elephant, a unicorn, or whatever, and just walking around the mall because there's hardly anyone there shopping anymore. They just allow like 4-year-olds to get on there and go full throttle. And a mall in New Jersey has now been sued for the 3rd time because someone got run over by one of these motorized stuffed animals, just out of nowhere, just clipped and knocked down by one of these motorized stuffed animals.
Wow.
How do you go to your insurance company and say, yeah, so here's what happened. A rogue unicorn ran over my thigh, and now I need physical therapy, and also I need surgery because of the random unicorn.
I don't know. What's more believable, a stuffed unicorn or a Cookie Monster on the Autobahn?
Or a banana
or a banana.
A banana set my car on fire?
Yes.
I can't believe you've never seen. I guess.
I don't know. Maybe I have.
But yeah, it's like you just sit on this motorized, and it's amazing to watch. It's just like they come in all different varieties, and it's almost like watching a demolition derby because there's no real age limit. Yeah. So they allow like 5-year-olds to just get on and go without any real supervision because it's run by someone who's running a kiosk, and we all know mall kiosk employees could give a damn about whatever's going on. And it's like watching a demolition derby. It is If you ever get a chance to see these motorized stuffed animal, I always want to try to ride one, but I don't know how big. Like, what's the size limit for one of those?
Well, Mike, as a person who's only stayed in Disney hotels, I'm sure that there's something stuffed you can ride.
I didn't say only. I just said as of recently. I may be bougie, but I'm not that bougie, my friend. I'm not that bougie, my friend.
Fair enough.
Moving on, did you see this story? And feel free, 707-4-Monkey, to call in if you've ever traced your lineage with like the 23andMe, like the swabs and stuff. This particular woman wanted to kind of figure out more of her ancestry, right? Yeah. She's been married to this guy for 10 years. They got 3 kids. And she was like, well, one of my kids has got curlier hair and another kid is a little darker skinned and everything else. And so I want us to take a 23andMe to see exactly what's going on here. And as you can see by that wonderful headline, married for 10 years with 3 kids, the DNA test left me sick. Now, when I first read that, I thought, okay, but you bore the kids. Like, What made you sick? Did he cheat on you? What happened was, this is Selena and Joseph. They're from Colorado. When the results came back, they were stunned to find out they're cousins.
Wow.
She said, when I realized we were cousins, I was a little sick to my stomach. I was thinking, should we get a divorce? Are we even supposed to be? Imagine that, if you will. You are with someone for 10 years, you have 3 kids, and all of a sudden, by the way, they say, yeah, you're cousins. So being someone who lives in, the area we live in, she decided to announce the surprising news about her husband on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
Because she thought it would be, quote, funny. And, shocking to no one, the clip quickly gained millions of views. She says, but she wasn't prepared for the torrent of abuse that came her way. She said, I did not know it was going to blow up that big. Yeah, you did. That's why you put it on there. I hate when people say, like, I had no idea. She said one person on there.
People see things that are on the internet? You can actually see the things that are there?
Yeah, like this show.
Right.
So she said one person commented, it's so disturbing. Why would you marry your cousin? Because she didn't know at the time. She adds that there were dozens of other comments along those lines. One read, they look so much alike. How'd they not know? Someone said, I feel bad for the kids. Because, now that it's out there on the internet, can those kids ever have a normal life?
So that's the question at 707-4-Monkey, 466-6539. Have you ever done a DNA test and found something or someone that you weren't expecting? And because we get these stories all the time where somebody's like, oh, that's not actually my dad, or all these crazy family secrets come out.
Yeah, I'm leery of it because it never ends well. It's never like you never find out, like my uncle or whatever is a rich oil baron.
No. Yeah. Everybody thinks they're going to be a descendant of a king or something, and it's never that. I did mine, and it was you're Italian. It's like, okay, I got that.
Well, weren't you gonna? I believe weren't you gonna try to get citizenship because of that? When you got the 23andMe?
I can get well, not because of the DNA test, but I can. Yes, I can become a dual citizen and vote in the contentious Italian election. That's the one that I'm worried about right now. I don't know. The one that we've got going on right now is pretty. We've seen this story before. I'm not interested. But the one in Italy, whatever's going on there, that's the one that I'm most interested in.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I will tell you this, living down here now, there are 2 things that always pop up: political ads, and holy crap, the lawyer commercials.
Yeah,
like everybody, because it's a no fault state. So every commercial break, it's like, oh, here comes 4 different lawyers and another political advertisement, and another one.
Do you have near you a lot of the? Because I know, like over by, well, let's look at it now, Tampa. I know
live looking for Tampa. Let me get my rain gear back on. Sorry, no, just kidding.
All these bail bond companies. Are you swimming in those?
I have not seen those per se. There may be around, but it's mostly all these attorneys, and they all try to outdo each other with all their different like.
That's right.
Oh, it's getting bad out there. It's getting bad out there. I should go outside and give you a live report, but I'm smart and staying inside.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that would knock Al Roker over.
Yeah, the Roke. But yeah, so
I'm sorry. I got to watch it one more time. It's just
go back to that. I got to once again. Imagine if you're a highly paid professional. This guy is works on the truck for NBC.
Yeah, this guy down
and
here.
This guy down there, and he has to come in, and they say, "Hey, could you hold Al up for us?" And you're like, "Well, I guess I want to keep my job, so sure, what's the worst that can happen?" Roll the tape.
Matt, our truck operator, Tom Bear, said, "Don't you wish you had your weight back?" Right about now, I do.
Are you okay?
We're okay.
Okay.
We're okay. We're coming inside.
Yeah,
that's
that,
a good
Al.
idea. That's a good
Wouldn't it be
idea.
easier if you just
Okay. Did you hear the patronizing voice from it's always the hosts that are back safely in the studio that feign that they are actually worried about someone. And then when they say, "Oh, we're coming back inside," and they go, "Oh, that would be a good idea."
Well, that would have been, what's his name? Matt Lauer and Katie Couric, I think.
Oh, that's right.
That's what it sounded like. Anyway, why they have to go stand out in the rain, I don't know.
These poor schmucks. I just feel bad for them. Like they draw the short straw. It's just it's not great. It's not great. But hopefully, fingers crossed, everybody can be as safe as possible. Like I said, if you want to pan over, we're prepared again. We'll show a quick setup of there it is, the old hurricane prep and the little step stool so I can peek out and see when the rain comes. Quite the job we did there. Finally here, though, on the inaugural edition of whatever we're going to call this anymore, with Halloween right around the corner, there is always the back and forth about what is an appropriate costume and what isn't. Mm-hmm. So we take you to Reddit and how... what is it? 7074 Monkey is the phone number.
7074 Monkey. Why don't you know this now? It's the best phone number in the world. Do you know how long it took me to find that phone number?
It is pretty awesome. I just can't remember the first three digits. The
707 4 Monkey.
7074 Monkey. All right.
466-6539. Call.
Nice. There's and more. But wait, there's more. 7074 Monkey.
Yes.
We'll add an extra monkey. So, all right. So here's what's transpiring. Okay. There's a pair of 21-year-old females who've been friends since they were 12 years old, and Halloween's kind of their thing. One, however, has gone away to college. The other one has stayed home and worked. And so one likes the party a little bit more than the other. But they wanted to do something on Halloween together. So the one individual said, "I'm going to go and take my 9-year-old sister trick-or-treating." And the one who likes the party says, "You know what? I'll join you for the trick-or-treating. Then we can go out afterwards." Right? So we can start trick-or-treating. We really want to spend it together. Then we'll go out to the club afterwards. Okay, cool. They say, that's awesome. Only problem is, just here recently, the club and friend FaceTimed the other friend to show her costume. And basically, the individual said that, quote, "The best way I can explain it is it looks like what you would see in a porn video or strip club."
Oh. So this picture is not even doing it justice. This is too tame.
Yes, exactly. They said it was basically like a bra and a mini skirt. And so she was like, "You probably shouldn't be wearing that to take a kid trick-or-treating."
Probably not.
She told me there was nothing inappropriate, and she was dressed as the devil like many other people will be dressed. I said I felt like it wasn't appropriate and asked if she could wear a different costume to go trick-or-treating and then change at my house before going to the club. She got mad at me and said I was basically calling her a slut, and that I was just jealous because I couldn't pull off an outfit like that and wasn't pretty as her.
Isn't that always the way?
I barely replied because I really don't know what to say. I'm saying this again. I have no problem with the outfit. And this is not me trying to control what she can or can't wear. I'm just saying we're going to be surrounded by children, so it feels a bit on the inappropriate side.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily feel like my request was unreasonable. Am I the jerk? Should I just let her go as sexy porn devil walking throughout people's neighborhoods?
It's a question that we've asked many times of what is it about Halloween that seems to allow women to just go completely bananas and just tramp it up.
Let your freak flag fly, Johnny.
Yeah. That's really fascinating because the women who do it would never in a million years walk around scantily clad or something a little too short. And I'm not Halloween shaming you. I guess I am Halloween shaming you.
One episode in, we're going to get canceled. Thanks, Johnny.
Right.
One episode in, and you're trying to tell people what. I think part of it
is
us
and the CIA. Yeah.
Yeah, letting your inhibitions go, I guess, and
I guess
it's a chance for one night. I'm not but just.
Here's the thing:
the sexy thing. I would rather that than the dumb, punny, like stupid guy costumes that are out there.
Right.
That they always show, play like the Big Johnson costume. Like, I'm a condom rapper. Like, go get out of here.
But the thing is, you will find 100 women dressed like this. You'll find none of them dressed like Cookie Monster driving a car.
That's the winner, right?
That's
there.
the winner.
Yeah, that is the winner. Cookie Monster driving the automobile on the Autobahn over there in Germany. Yeah, there's not a lot of choice. Like, I feel like Halloween has become more a ladies' holiday. Because there's much more choices in their ability to look sexy in their costume. Guys get like superhero or like baseball player.
And women love it too. They love getting all dressed up and trying to convince you to dress up as a companion to whatever they're dressed up as.
As someone who's done that many times, you just go with it. Yeah. It's easier that way.
We'll be a box of crayons.
It's easier that way. Well, at least be inventive. Like, don't be the socket and the plug. I hate that one. And the plug's like in the nether regions of the guy, like he's in that Daddy-O Dakota Johnson movie, where he's just standing there with his plug ready to be put in your socket.
Right.
It's like, come on. And some of the things they make sexy is also ridiculous too. There's no need for sexy Taco Bell sauce. I'm sorry, there just isn't.
Agreed. 707 Monkey.
Yes, 707 Monkey. I have to remember that for next week.
Well, write it down for God's sakes.
I should. You know what?
We have an incredible Hell Hath No Fury Like a Woman Scorned story.
Okay.
And this woman has written an entire memoir about how her husband, I guess, cheated on her. Terrible thing.
No. Yes. Awful. With a sexy taco sauce.
He would often go to high-priced escorts and had a number of affairs. And then the guy died in 2015.
Okay.
Let me put up a nice picture of this loving couple. Okay. There they are.
Oh, look at that. Did she let everyone know what a scumbag he was at the wake? Is that where this story's going?
He wrote a book called A Widow's Guide to Dead Bastards. Recounts about how she opened her porn-addicted husband's iPad to look up the number for the Houston hospital that was holding his body. And then as she started typing things in, the word Houston escorts auto-corrected.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she was looking for Houston Hospital, and she got Houston escorts. And then she
found
former
USFL team, the Houston Escorts.
But apparently this was only the tip of the iceberg. She went several months unraveling her husband's secret life and learned he regularly saw escorts, cheated on her with several women. And so the story that is in the book is this. She revealed how she ate his ashes.
What?
After learning about this, I'll show you. I'll eat your ashes.
How is that revenge?
I don't know.
You're mad at him for cheating on you, yet you ingest him, so now he's inside of you.
I don't know who. Yeah, what lesson are we teaching? I don't know what's happening.
And what if you get a taste for it?
And now I want more. I want more. Yeah, going over to people's houses, knocking over vases.
Yeah, exactly. Is this an urn? Is this an urn? Ah, just flowers. Ah, I need my fix. What is she trying to do?
She said, then in despair and guilt, she said she cut open the bag of his ashes, bringing them to her garden where she mixed them with her dog's feces. But then in despair and guilt, she took more of the ashes and then ate them. Yeah.
That's revenge. Throwing his ashes in a bunch of dog crap, that's revenge. Eating them, not so much.
This is a passage from the book. Then in despair and guilt, I took more of his ashes and actually ate them. The remains feel dry against my fingertips, coarser than baking powder, grainier than salt. They mix with the teary water, a mineral mud found in the back of my tongue. I swallow.
I think he probably paid extra for that with one of the escorts, right?
What the hell?
I don't know. Why are people so weird?
I don't know.
I get it. That's a terrible thing that happened to you, but I don't know if you won. Like I don't know if that's like the flex you think it is.
Yeah.
I ate his ashes. Haha, I've consumed his soul.
Yeah. This is a person who would do that.
Yes, that's right. That's the Uber driver right there. All right. Well, I think we're only an hour away from landfall here. So there's Tampa Bay. Look at now we're rotating there. We've lost the satellite link live from the Hurricane Center in Tampa Bay.
That must be about all that
there it is.
The live cam could handle.
Pick up. By the way, did you see quickly before we go, Tropicana Field in Tampa Bay, where the Tampa Bay Rays play, has been turned into a shelter.
Yeah.
So for people, if they need to, and why is it that whenever they interview someone who decides to stay, it feels like they're taking advantage of that person, or they're just tremendous buttheads.
I don't know.
There's a woman I saw today, and I hope she's safe. I hope everything works out for her, but she was right where it's supposed to make landfall, and it's about to do that here in an hour. And during the interview, she said, most people left, they're smart or whatever. The only people staying are those that have the right supplies and are great swimmers like myself. It's like, that's a terrible joke.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I think this is going to be bad. I mean, I hope we can do a show next week if you have electricity.
I'll find somewhere to have some electricity because, as you know, Johnny, I tend to frequent the Disney hotels, and I'm sure those particular hotels will probably have power at some point.
Yeah, that's what's happening right now at the.
Look at those! Look at those waves.
That's pretty incredible.
It's
and Sarasota is kind of, that's about where they think the eye is going to hit, right?
Yeah, exactly. Those look like waves Patrick Swayze surfed in Point Break. Some schmuck's probably in that boat saying, "Nah, I'll be all right. I'm gonna live in that boat."
That's the Lieutenant Dan story, right?
Yeah, that's the guy who's going to ride it out in his houseboat. He's like, "I'll be okay. It'll be fine."
Yeah, hang on, let me just pull that up real quick. So yeah, this guy, Tampa's Lieutenant Dan, I guess they know him well. Says he is staying on his boat despite the mayor saying he was in shelter ahead of the hurricane. This is a guy who he's missing a leg, and so everybody calls him Lieutenant Dan. By the way, you gotta lose both legs to be Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah, you're I don't know if you're lieutenant. Your first lieutenant, maybe Dan.
He said he was on the phone talking with people about cryptocurrency because of the direction of the wind. He's planning to slightly adjust the angle of his boat, but he's pretty convinced that he can ride it out. And that's a picture of him there.
He seems like a guy who will ride it out and listen. Is it REO Speedwagon or who sings that song "Ride in the Storm Out"?
Yeah.
He seems to be the guy listening to that.
So he's hanging out he's in a boat in Tampa right now, and he is he's going to ride it out.
Godspeed.
Yeah.
Godspeed, Lieutenant Dan. Yeah, look at that, St. Petersburg, Florida, live looking. So, Godspeed, everyone. Hopefully, we'll see you next week. And
I don't know how to end this other than say goodbye, I guess.
707 for Monkey.
Yeah, that's right. We want to hear...
Remember that for next week. 707 for Monkey.
More phone calls.
Quizzed. Yes. And make sure, we're on YouTube now. So make sure you like and subscribe and ring that notification bell to get updates for when we go live.
All right.
And if you missed any portion of this, we'll have the audio only version on Fridays. We'll still be releasing that on Fridays as well. So, yes.
Stay high and dry, Mike.
I bid you adieu. And hopefully we'll be talking to you next week. This is Mike Hurricane Cantori signing off.